So today I am going to be talking about all of the books that I read in the month of December. I did participate in the Shelf Space Reindeer Games readathon. It was so much fun. I definitely did not read 12 books. I did not get all 12 prompts done, but it was still a very good time. My team, John McClane, did not win, but it's okay, because there's always next year. So I was able to read 6 books this month, which is pretty impressive, I think, especially because of how crazy my December was. Like, being a parent and having small children around the holidays, like, chaos ensues. Like, I don't know if people that don't have kids realize how much work goes into making the Christmas magic. Like, it's a lot. And like, I didn't realize it myself until like I had my own children, and I'm like, oh my God, like, there is so much that goes into just making Christmas that magical feeling for children. So there was a lot of my time, and then also, like, you know, I have a job that I had to work, and like, we were just busy. But I still read 6 books, and I am very happy with the 6 books that I got to, because I really enjoyed every single one of them. I did not have a very like bad book out of the whole group. Y'all, I said 6 books, there was 7. I missed one, there's 7. So we're gonna start off with my one book that was originally a temporary DNF. I read this for the prompt where you read a book you either have DNF'd or have put down, and that is Malice, the first book in Faithful and the Fallen by John Gwynne. I ended up really enjoying the last half of this book. I had DNF'd it around 50% because I was just bored, y'all. I was not getting along with the story. I was bored. There was just nothing interesting going on for me. But after halfway, when I picked it back up the second time, I actually started to really enjoy it. Like, things just picked up. And I have heard that the rest of the books in the series are more like the ending, because the beginning is just like so much like world building and just so much getting used to what is going on in this world. So I'm actually really excited to read the rest of the series. I gave this 4 stars, and I really think it deserves it. The end was like a 5-star book. The beginning was like a 3-star book. Like, it was alright. So 4 stars altogether. I really enjoyed it. It is a pretty typical Chosen One story, but I really like how Gwen has kind of subverted the Chosen One trope in this, and we have someone who thinks he's the Chosen One and like insists that he's the Chosen One, and then we have someone else that we think is the Chosen One. So I really liked that aspect of it. So I'm excited to see where it goes with the rest of the series. Next, I read a novella for our stocking stuffer prompt, which is to read a short story or novella, and I read Edge Dancer by Brandon Sanderson. This is like Stormlight 2.5 to be read between Words of Radiance and Oathbringer, and I gave this 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. It starts out with one of the interludes that you actually have already read if you've read Words of Radiance. It's the interlude with Lift, where she's this little girl who is awesome and loves to eat and is like breaking into the palace and trying to, like, she's just there just to steal food basically. But you get her story in this. You get a whole novella's worth of Lift. And I really enjoyed it. I think Lift is adorable. As someone that has a young daughter, I think her personality is pretty spot on for a preteen girl. So I just thought it was really fun. She's kind of annoying, but like in a way that all preteen girls are annoying, let's be honest. But this made me hungry, this made me want pancakes, and I'm excited to get into Oathbringer and see how Lift plays a part in the Stormlight archives as a whole. I also picked up a self-published book this month, and it is by one of my friends, Andrew, here on YouTube. I will link his channel for you, and that is Immortality Awaits, which is his first self-published book, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. It was such a fun, like, debut novel that he did. He's actually working on rewrites right now, so the story, while I loved that, and that will remain pretty much the same, I believe, he's working on changing like certain, like, I think technical aspects of it, and just making the issues that I had, really, I think he's probably just gonna fix those. And all the stuff that I loved, he's gonna leave in. So I'm really excited. This again is kind of a chosen one story, but you get to follow the chosen ones, like this group of friends that's like, you know, fated and destined to like save the world. But then you also get to follow kind of their mirror image in a different world, and they are also the chosen ones. And it's like, I feel like 4 of them are gonna kind of go bad, and then like 4 of them are gonna be good, and there's a very cool like mirror effect on these characters. Like you can see the ones that you like reflected in the ones that you're like, ooh, I don't like these guys. So I really like how he kind of plays on the mirrored aspect of it. It is also a portal fantasy, so we go from our world into another world, which I really, really like. It is very like coming into your own and like magic. And it was just a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see what Andrew does next with this story. In December, I also read Dark Matter. This was my thriller book of the month for the Shelf Space Readathon, and I absolutely loved this. I gave it 4 stars. This was also my like secret Santa book for world hoppers. I'll link that reading vlog for you if you want to check it out, but this was me reading Jade from Bedtime Bookworm's favorite book, and I can definitely see why she loved it. While it didn't end up being like my favorite, I did still really like it. This is like a sci-fi thriller, and it is very fast-paced. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. You're following this man named Jason, who is a father and a husband, and he is like kind of a former super well-known scientist who had like his whole life ahead of him, and he kind of gave it all up when his girlfriend at the time got pregnant, and they decided to, you know, make a family and raise the baby. And it's a lot of what ifs, a lot of like, so what would have happened if Jason didn't leave his family, like didn't leave his job to raise the boy? Like lots of little what ifs, opening different like parallel dimensions, and it is confusing but so good. If you want to see like my full thoughts, like I said, I'll link that reading vlog for you. I also read Promise of Blood, which is the first book in the Powder Mage series. This was our Shelf Space book club pick, and I really enjoyed it. I am torn kind of between like a 3 and a 4 star. Like it's definitely like a 3.5. I didn't absolutely love it, but I definitely by no means hated it. It was a good time. I enjoyed the end of it more than the beginning. And this is set where like the very beginning of the book, we see that kind of like this military group of powder mages has overthrown the monarchy in this kind of like French Revolution style, and chaos ensues from there. Like it's a lot of politics, but there is also different forms of magic. So yeah, it's really good. There is like a couple different forms of magic. There are gods, there are like these like prophecies, and I'm really excited to see where it goes in the second book. I know what a lot of people hear when they think of this book, and I know I did, was that you like snorted gunpowder as the magic. And while that is true, there's so much more to it than that. And I really think that McClellan did a great job with this as his debut. So I'm excited to see what else he does. Like, because while yes, I had some issues with this book, it wasn't perfect. There's some definite things I'm like, it was still fun. Like, it was good. I'm also not hard to please, so there's that. The next book that I read was The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. I gave this 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. This is the conclusion to the Poppy War trilogy, and I think it wraps it up really, really well. I think the ending is what had to happen, and I will be sending Miss Kuang my therapy bill. But it's not my favorite of this series. That definitely goes to the Dragon Republic. But there's things I would have changed. Like, I don't want to do any spoilers. There's definitely some things that I'm like, I would have changed this. I would have liked to see this. Like, what happens here? But all in all, I just loved this series so much. I loved following Rin and Katai and Neza and just seeing what happened. Like I said, I would read anything that R.F. Kuang puts out. She is now like a full auto-buy author. I will read anything that she releases, and I just loved it so much. The last book that I read in the month of December is House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune, and this might have been my favorite book of the month. I gave this 5 stars. I read it in like 2 days. I flew through it. It is just a warm hug. When everyone was saying this book is like a warm hug, I was like, I don't get it. Oh my god, I read it and I get it. This book is just sweet and good, and I just love it so much. We follow Linus, who is a social worker for the department in charge of magical youth, and he is sent out on special assignment to this very special orphanage for very strange magical youth. He is to spend a month at this orphanage and just report his findings, and we just get to follow him and the headmaster of this orphanage and these children, and it is just the sweetest. As someone who has actually worked with foster kids before in my past, I really liked it. Like, I have worked as a guardian at Lightum, which is a volunteer position where we do like home visits and stuff like that, and I just thought this was so cute. It really touched me as someone that used to do that, and as a mom myself. Like, just the children, man. And there's like the sweetest like little romance in this book, but it's not super like romance heavy, I promise you. And I just love it, and I can see this being a book that I will reread anytime that I feel kind of sad and just like need a little pick me up. Like, this is the book to read after something heavy like The Burning God. Alright, so there you have everything that I read in the month of December. It was, all in all, a really good reading month. Let me know your thoughts on all of these books and what you read in the month of December in the comments down below. My name is Jessie, and I will see you again next time. Bye.